Understanding OBE is central to this assessor's training course. In the occupational space, that's all the QCTO and the Seta related qualifications are written in outcomes-based format. The unit standards we were working with for the past 15 years or so are fully outcomes-based. As an assessor, therefore, you would be using these standards when you assess your learners. It makes sense, therefore, to dig deep into these concepts and understand it well. My primary reference here is a book by William Spady on outcomes-based education, critical issues and answers. Whilst lots of references are used, the primary text is from Spady's work. What does the term outcomes-based education really mean? Outcomes-based education means clearly focusing and organizing everything in an educational system around what is essential for all students to do successfully at the end of their learning experiences. This means starting with a clear picture of what is important for students to be able to do, then organizing the curriculum, instruction, and assessment to make sure that this learning ultimately happens. The keys to having an outcomes-based system are: 1, developing a clear set of learning outcomes along which all the system's components can be focused, and 2, establishing the conditions and opportunities within the system that enable and encourage all students to achieve those specific outcomes or essential outcomes. So what exactly are outcomes? Outcomes are clear learning results that we want students to demonstrate at the end of a significant learning experience. Because outcomes involve actual doing, rather than just knowing or a variety of other purely mental processes, they must be defined according to the action or the demonstration process being sought. When defining and developing outcomes, educators must use observable action verbs like describe, explain, design, or produce, rather than vague or hidden non-demonstration processes like know, understand, believe, and think. Therefore, one key to recognizing well-defined outcomes is to look for the demonstration verb or verbs that define the processes the learner is expected to carry out at the end. Without those verbs, what are called outcome statements, lack of a clearly defined demonstration process, and without the defined process, the outcome statement takes on the character of a goal rather than a true outcome demonstration. Finally, because the outcomes occur at or after the end of a learning experience, it is useful to think of them representing the ultimate result that is sought from the learning. When the notion of an ultimate result is applied to the end of a student's career in school, rather than to particular segments of curriculum or blocks of time, OBE often uses the term exit outcome. Specific curriculum knowledge and skills are developed from and around the exit outcomes and directly help students develop those broad hidden abilities.